Hey guys, what's going on? So what I have for you here today are the graphic novels and trade paperbacks that I've accumulated throughout the month of January. Alright, so kicking it off, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is the second series that came out called The Search, and this was a three-part series that they had here. So I recently picked up the very first one called The Rift, and I think it was called The Journey, and it was great. It was straight from the animated series, so if you enjoy the animated series, you see here the artwork is almost identical from the Nickelodeon show. The characters involved are all the characters that you know. The dialogue is straight up. You know, you could hear the various characters talk from what you recall from the animated show. So again, you know, this was a pretty good series so far, and I picked up a few more of the avatars. Let's see, I have Smoke and Shadow, Part 1, 2, and 3. And I also picked up North and South number 1, and I'm waiting for the other number 2 and 3 to come out for that one. Alright, next up we have The Executor, and this one was like on sale for in-stock trades for like, I think it was like $2 or something. So, you know, the premise seemed okay. This guy who, I think he knew this girl back in high school. I think they were like high school sweethearts possibly, but you know, he broke up with her back in high school. She died, he became the executor, he had to come back, and he kind of starts getting into this mystery murder thriller. And you know, I didn't know it was black and white. The artwork seems, you know, just mediocre at best. I'm hoping that the storyline will carry it. So yeah, we'll check this out. And again, these are the smaller trade paperbacks. I'm not sure what the smaller ones are called. Next up, we have Kill or Be Killed by Ed Brubaker. I actually read through this one already. This one was excellent. So this artwork, you know, so I picked up number 1, and the artwork didn't get to me at first, but it definitely, once you understand what the storyline is, you know, I say it definitely complements the storyline here, which I'll say has some little bit of supernatural. You have a demon that's involved throughout this. I won't give away the rest of the storyline there, but this guy's conflicted mentally, and he has to he's given a task, and you know, killing is something that he has to start to learn to accept. So yeah, this is pretty good. You know, at first I thought it was like a robbery, you know, type of guy, or I thought he was like a mobster, but no, definitely not the case. Guys, this one is really great. I passed up on it originally, but would recommend picking up the trade. Next up, to continue on, I have volumes 1, 2, 3 of Birthright by Image, published by Image, and this one was excellent. I truly love this artwork that's been out there so far. The storyline, I love everything almost Knights related, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons, Lord of the Rings. This one has both, you know, Knights, magic. This one has everything in there. This one is great, guys. I highly recommend you pick this up if you enjoy action, magic, mystery. Knights, man, this is it. This one is great. So I have number 1, 2, 3. This is number 4. Next up, this came in my comic bento. This is Legends of Red Sonja, and Red Sonja is getting pretty popular here lately. You know, she's been around forever, since like I think the 60s. You know, I grew up with heavy metal and was never really totally into Red Sonja or Conan, but and she's really blowing up here recently. So I'm going to read through this one. I'm hoping this one has some pretty good storyline and dialogue to go along with it. But again, I picked this one up as one of my mystery trade paperbacks in my comic bento. Same with Spider-Man Blue. So I have not read through this one yet, but just reading into the premise a little bit more, this one is actually about how Gwen, you know, comes into Peter Parker's life, how he falls in love with her, and you know, I think everyone knows that she dies in the, you know, in the continuity of Spider-Man, and you know, she's back in various forms now due to other realities, other parallel universes. But yeah, this was a kind of a reprint of the older Spider-Man and how things kind of unfolded there. Spider-Man Blue, again, got it from my comic bento. Next up, we have Totally Awesome Hulk. This is volume number 2. I have not gotten into Totally Awesome Hulk. I was waiting for this one to come in. So I'm going to be reading through everything that I have from Amadeus Cho. I have everything out there, I think, at this point in time to read through, and I've actually picked up a couple of the monthly series now that he's joined up with a little Asian force here lately. But yeah, I really like Amadeus Cho so far from what I've seen of him. You know, I think it's really his attitude that I like. You know, it's kind of funny to me. He's I think the ninth smartest person in the world. And his attitude that goes along with it is just great. I mean, I don't know, it just really sits well with me. So, yeah, looking forward to read through this one. Next up, we have Fathom Blue, and this was another one that came in my comic bento. I started looking into Fathom since I've gotten this one, and picked up a few single issues, and just trying to get into this world and see what it's all about. But I have not read through this one yet. I think it's been a little bit difficult to figure out like where this one all starts out and which trade to pick up. So I think I'm just going to read through this one and see what I think about it. See if I want to try to dig into previous ones. On that same note, I got this one as well from Comic Bento. This was from Grimm Fairy Tales, and this is a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, where in this world she is a secret agent, and she's going on her missions. I have not read through this one yet. You see, she also hooks up with I was going to say Green Arrow, but I guess Robin Hood of this fantasy world, and she's yet another agent. But this one looked interesting. It's not something I'd probably pick up myself, but seemed like a good action-packed, interesting read. So yeah, we'll get through this one, and I'll tell you what I think about it. Next up, I am about to roll into the Superman Rebirth side of things. I have not picked up anything other than the Super Sons, where they initially meet, like in Superman 10, I think, maybe 9, 10, or 11, I don't know, somewhere in there. But so I started with, I already have the Lois and Clark, where John, I guess, is born, and I have that trade, so I want to read through that and read through everything concurrently, and I'll come up to current. But I know that everyone really loves Superman, one of the best titles out there for Rebirth. So yeah, really interested in seeing what everyone's talking about and really getting into this one. Next up, we have Teen Titans, and I have it for this year. I'm trying to pick up all of the Teen Titans run of the original series. So this is a new storyline that came out just in 2016, and this is kind of, I think, how they got together, or this is more of a storyline of, when they're first kind of starting out as a team that was never really told in the single issues. So this one really interests me. This one, I really love the Teen Titans. I'm really getting into them more now than what I have in the past. But of the the original team with the original Robin and things of that nature. But yeah, looking forward to this one, like a little alternate storyline here. All right, next up we have Infamous, and this is actually from the video game. And I heard that this was a good storyline, and I kind of thumbed through it and saw that the artwork was pretty decent. So I went ahead and picked this one up. I'm going to give this one a shot. And I'm usually disappointed, with these video game, retellings where they continue on a video game. I'm usually disappointed, but yeah, we'll see what happens here. Same exact note. We have Infinite Crisis, which was yet another video game. So this one came from, the storyline from the video game, complete different universe, complete different realm, and which is cool because you get to do a little bit different things, but it really depends how good that video game storyline was. Sometimes the original premise is good, but they try to stretch it into a storyline that's not good. Sometimes the video game storyline is awesome, and they sit there and start manipulating it to where the comic version of the storyline really isn't that great. So we'll see which way this one falls there on the spectrum. Next up, I picked up Outsiders Volume 1, 2, 3 in the past, read through them, loved them. So I went through and picked up all the runs here. So that was volume number 6, volume number 5, 7, 4. So I'll have 1 through 7 once I read through these all. But the storyline was great, guys. This one, I don't know how popular this was when it came out, but you have a version of Metamorpho that's in there, Martian Manhunter, or he's in there from time to time, kind of overseeing things along with Batman. You have Arsenal that's in there. This was really good, guys. If you like the I guess the adult superhero teams, you know, with that adult dialogue that's in there. Man, this is it. I didn't really ever expect to pick this one up, but it was great. Okay, next up, I've heard a lot about this. This is by Vertigo. This is Coffin Hill. And this is kind of like a murder, you know, supernatural mystery, I think is what this is. I've heard a lot about it, so I wanted to pick up Volume 1 to see, you know, what the hype is about, kind of read through it, see if I enjoy it, to see if I want to continue on. You know, I have not liked too much from Vertigo thus far. There's a couple that I thought were okay. And it's usually the artwork, and I'm usually not into Vertigo artwork too much, but we'll give this one a shot and we'll see what happens here. Okay, so next up I have a few of the Unity. I have Armor Hunters, Trapped by Webnet, and To Kill a King, and I think it's volumes number 1, 2, 3. So again, I'm just getting into the Valiant universe here. And I didn't even know the storyline existed, so I'm trying to go back, get Divinity, get Unity. I have all the Harbinger storyline, the trade paperbacks now at this point in time. I'm going to try to read through everything all concurrently. I'm sorry, all sequentially in chronological order. And I'll see where I go with that, because I truly love the current Renegade series that's out there. I do enjoy the Zero, Generation Zero that's out there as well. So yeah, looking to see how it all started here. So last up, we have the final Avatar, and this, you know, I ended up getting, this is the 4th storyline that came out called The Rift, and I ended up getting the large book here. It doesn't even fit on the screen, but what I didn't understand is, you know, these other ones are the smaller ones here versus, you know, a regular trade paperback. You can see the 3 different sizes. I'm not sure what the small one's called, and I was surprised to get the oversized. And the artwork of the small one is great, you know, but I didn't really like the small book, so I was like, oh great, I got a big one. I didn't know it was going to be that big, but I was like, great, let's blow it up. So then I get into it, and this artwork is basically almost the exact same size, because he had this huge border. It's almost the exact same size as the original artwork in this little tiny book. So I'm not sure why they did that. I want to see a full page. But anyways, besides that negative point, you know, these storylines have been pretty good. It's exactly, you know, the next episode from the TV show. So again, I picked up 4 storylines from Avatar this month, and we'll see if I continue on with that last one, North versus South, or North and South. But it's been good so far, guys. So yeah, that's it for this month's graphic novel haul. We'll see what happens coming up for next month. And again, should you like what you see here, please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.